Hey folks, I wanted to share a few ideas I had about anxiety. I've struggled with it my whole life. It was pretty bad as a kid, got really bad as a young adult, and as soon as I started working on it, it started to improve. So it's been about a 25-year conscious effort to neutralize, to get rid of anxiety, I guess. And I'm almost there, I dare say. I'm not an anxious person anymore. And I'm grateful for that. If you are, I'm sorry that you're struggling with this one, because I know it's a killer. It really stops you from doing a lot of things in your life. And it's really hard on your body. It's really hard on your mind, your psyche. So, there's a few approaches. I'm always pushing the meditation. Sometimes that makes people anxious just hearing that word. So I don't want to stress you out, but you might want to look into it. There's thousands of kinds of meditation and paths that you could follow. So I strongly encourage you to try and find something that will work. There's breathing exercises. There's a simple one. If you're starting to feel anxious, to breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. That one's kind of famous. The Navy SEALs do it, so it must be cool. But anyway, it works. It works. So stuff like that. There's hundreds of those kinds of exercises, breathing exercises that help you to calm down. It's all about the chemicals being released, right? And it's sort of this fight or flight or freeze kind of thing that your body's getting into. In a way, you're afraid for your life almost. But really, it's just this thing, this roadblock. And for me, that's my passion, is finding out what that is. So there's a whole nurturing side to it. So that's, I would say, like getting massages and the hot baths, and there's acupuncture. There's a good spot right here. If you push that, things are really freaking out. And there's a whole bunch more. And so there's that side of it, doing yoga, like the stretches in yoga, certain ones help to release stress. And then there's the being conscious of what it is that you're anxious about, and digging a little bit there. So some people could say social situations make me anxious. And, there's a big bear up in the woods here. Hey buddy, I'm over here. Hey love. So that's a start, right? Okay, you realize social, but what is it about the social situation? And so that's where I would encourage you to if you haven't already, to dig a little more and find out what is it specifically that you're afraid of, or what about people at a party is making you anxious. So a lot of times I feel like people just cut themselves short of really going deep and figuring it out. And so they're just like, oh yeah, it's too loud when there's lots of people around. I'm a one-on-one guy, and too many people, it's no good. And so then they just avoid what makes them anxious. And so if that's what you want to do, that's fine. With me, I would encourage you to lean into that a little, and again, dig and find out what it is that you're intimidated by specifically. And then there's another layer to that, and another layer to that. So that could be, through reading books or some kind of therapy or counseling or something like that. It could help. In the meantime, the idea is in the shamanistic world, we were given warrior task assignments. And so whatever you were afraid of, you had to do, which sounds crazy. But the whole idea is that, say you go to a party and you're anxious, and what would make you even more anxious is if you would, so for me, if there was 4 seats and 3 of them were taken, no one would believe this. True story. I wouldn't take that 4th seat almost ever, unless I had a bunch of alcohol or something. I would be so nervous. I would be on the couch or somewhere silly to kind of like, hey, look at me, I'm making a scene here. But really, I didn't want to be close and to people. So the idea is, sit in that spot, if that's your thing or whatever your thing is, and then have the anxiety rise. And the idea is you've got your breathing techniques, and you've got your color therapy, you've got your mantra going. You could tell somebody even right then, it's like, yeah, I'm really nervous right now. Oh, really? You don't look nervous. And just getting it out helps. And then also pay attention to what you're saying to yourself in that moment. What are you saying? What's the problem? What's the problem? You're just sitting around a bunch of people, you know? So I would encourage you to really look at the inner dialogue. That's what I'm fascinated about. How are you talking to yourself about the situation? And write that stuff down and write a poem about it and talk to people about it and get that out and dig in there. Dig in there. Like sometimes it's fear of death. That it's way out of the blue, you know? Like, oh no, I'm not afraid of death. And then someone does a workshop and they do a bunch of therapy and they're like, oh my God, I'm petrified of death. And so often what you don't think it is, it just might be. Just a little warning there. Like if somebody comes to me and says it's definitely not something, like for sure not. If they say that many for sure's, yeah, I kind of know that it's probably that. So don't be afraid to put stuff back on the table that you've dismissed as you've figured that out. And that's kind of an issue, I think, with our culture, is we have so much information about everything, but, you know, about the mysticism and there's the wisdom from all the greats that have come through time is now at our fingertips. And so you know what's going on, you know, with the chemicals and all the stuff, but you're still struggling. So there can be, like a roadblock there of like an acceptance that you need to get help and you need to go a little deeper again. So those are some of the things I like to do. But it's such a huge rabbit hole. There's so much out there, and there's so many people helping people. Like trauma is a word, right? So if you've had trauma in your life and you're still holding on to that, then you get re-traumatized every time a dog barks, or again, every time there's some loud music or something. And so you have to, the idea is you have to look at that and really find out what it is specifically that's haunting you, and then you just try and nurture yourself on one end and heal and be gentle and kind and loving to yourself and the people around you, and also do some digging and some searching and some chasing your fears, if you will, and then kind of, you know, do a little combination of both is what I'd say. And then hopefully you can overcome it, and then you can be more free. For myself, I feel great that I've done so much work on this one, because I do feel more free and I feel more present, and just little things, little tiny things I couldn't do before that I do now. I'm just like, woo! I'm kind of proud of myself that, you know, I made it over that hump. So anyway, I do this kind of stuff with people as far as helping them through their roadblocks and their insecurities and stuff like that. So I'm a counselor, life coach guy. So give me a call if you think I might be able to help you, or at the very least, please reach out to somebody or do some digging to try and nip this one, because anxiety, if it runs too long, it's really hard on the body. So that's making you more anxious, but as you know, it's not good for you. So try to heal that up. Okay, bless you, beautiful people. Bye-bye.